I've seen people on insulin, I've seen them on metformin, and within 3 weeks of doing these tips that I'm showing you, they were able to reverse that. Hey guys, today I'm going to talk with you about lowering blood sugars to help your diabetes, and I'm going to tell you about foods that you need to increase and eat more of, and foods that you need to either get rid of or lower your intake of them. The first food I'm going to tell you to eat more of is legumes or beans. Now, even though they're made up of 20 to 30% of carbohydrates, they're tolerated very well by diabetics. And that's typically because they are also high in fiber, which helps with keeping the blood sugars lower as well, and also fermentation that the beans do within the stomach. A study has shown that if you were to eat beans today for lunch, say half of a cup of beans for lunch today, your blood sugar would still be lower by lunch tomorrow because of the beans you ate today. We want to make sure that we're increasing our fiber. So another food that you want to increase is your vegetable intake. And this includes both starchy and non-starchy vegetables, but especially the non-starchy vegetables. When it comes to the grains that we eat, we want to make sure that we're getting whole grains, whole wheat pasta, using whole wheat flour when possible, using brown rice instead of white. These all contain fiber, which will help to slow the blood sugars as well. Fruits are also important. Now, you might be thinking, well, they're high in sugars and carbohydrates, but it's actually with fructose, and fructose acts a lot differently within the body, and fruit has plenty of fiber in it as well, so increase your fruit intake. Something else that you might not think of is your vitamin Bs. That's your vitamin B1, B2, and B6 that we're wanting to increase. We're helping to break down the sugars in the blood, so we want to make sure that we're increasing our B vitamin intake. You can find B vitamins in nutritional yeast flakes. You can find it in wheat germ, beans, and nuts as well. So make sure that we're increasing those to help to keep our blood sugars lower and normal as well. Now the hard part, the foods that we either need to decrease or get rid of. Of course, number one is going to be sugars and refined baked goods as well. Now these will make our blood sugars spike, and they're just not healthy for us. Occasionally, once in a while, it's okay to have something nice and sweet, but if we can cut it out of our regular diet, you're really going to be helping yourself. That doesn't just mean baked goods, but it also means the things that you're drinking as well, whether it's a sweetened tea, soda, sweetened coffee, things like that. That will make your blood sugar rise as well. So we really want to cut those out. Something else that we want to cut down or cut out is saturated fats. Now, eating saturated fats reduces your glucose tolerance, which makes your blood sugars and your diabetes even worse. So we really wanting to cut down on those saturated fats, things like meats, dairies, cheeses, eggs. Those are typically high in saturated fats, or fried foods as well. So we want to cut those out or cut those really down. I've mentioned it quickly, but getting rid of meat as well, or cutting down on how much we eat. Like I said, they're high in saturated fats, which are not good for our blood sugars and our tolerance for glucose as well. So we really want to cut those down. I used to work in a lifestyle center in California where people would come for 3 weeks and they would have diabetes, they would have high blood pressure, they would have all kinds of diseases. And in those 3 weeks, we cut out their meats. We put them on a plant-based whole foods diet. We had them exercise no matter what they could do, whether it was just walking slowly around a little flagpole that we had there. But at the end of 3 weeks, I saw people who would come with bags of medication. They left with no medication because they were put on a plant-based diet. They cut down on those saturated fats. They increased their fruits and their vegetables. They increased the things I'm telling you about, the beans. We had beans at every meal there as well. But they cut down on those foods that I'm telling you about. And I really saw a turnaround in everybody that came there for the 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So cutting down on alcohol. Now, I know people aren't going to be happy about that one, but it's true. People who consume more alcohol, your body cell is more resistant to insulin. So it makes your blood sugar stay higher than it should be. I recommend everybody gets an A1C when they get their blood work done. And this helps to see what your blood sugars have been over the past 3 months, just around 3 months, so that they can see what the average is. And you want yours to be less than 5.7, and that is a normal range. If it's between 5.7 to 6.4, that is pre-diabetic, and 6.5 and above is type 2 diabetes. So it's important for you to know what the normal is, and If you see yours start to go up, even pre-diabetic, you can make these changes. They're very simple, and it just takes some effort and some will as well. Like I mentioned before, you can get your blood sugars turned around. You can lower it. You can reverse your diabetes. I've seen people on insulin. I've seen them on metformin. And within 3 weeks of going on a plant-based whole foods diet, doing these tips that I'm showing you, they were able to reverse that. They were able to get rid of those medications, at least most of them, if not all. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I know that if you follow these tips or share this with somebody that you know who has high blood sugars or pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes as well, it can help to keep our blood sugars stable as well, or to lower them. So go ahead and share, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions, if you'd like to see something more on this, and ring the bell for notifications. Thanks, guys.